I'm not entirely sure that the planet could fight that, because let's say you hi, welcome back to whatever this is. My name is Kaysa. I'm online, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to survive Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a video game that I have played, and I have the general idea of how it works. I don't know too much about the lore, but I do know the basics of the game. The game is where you can either play as a survivor or you can play as a killer. The survivor is a co-op situation where you try to fix generators and find different items, so you'll be able to unlock or turn on the gates and be able to escape. The killer, of course, is there to make sure that you either don't escape or just die. The role of the killer is to help feed the entity. They work for the entity, and the entity is an almighty, malevolent being traveling through the cosmos and slowly consuming worlds. It creates the nightmarish realms of the trial grounds to trap its victims, survivors, and killers in an endless cycle of trials, with the intent of feeding on its victims' strongest emotions, allowing it to grow in power and slowly consume another world. And is the driving reason why every single killer is out there trying to make sure you stay in your place, which is within the trials, within the realm itself. Dead by Daylight is pretty popular. You may have already known what the game is about. You may even play yourself. It's been around for quite a long time and has even had cameos and characters from different fictional stories, usually pertaining to horror stories like Silent Hill. They had the Pyramid Head, and they have Dracula now, and all these different things. The main part about Dead by Daylight is trying to survive. And I think it's both the survivors and the killers who are trying to survive, because the killers work for the entity, but they are also there trapped too in the first place. Again, I don't read the lore, but I am under the assumptions that the killer has a job to do. I have two solutions that I've thought of that might actually make a lot of sense and may even be a lot more fun if you were in this scenario. Obviously, the scenario is just not a lot of fun, generally speaking, to know that you have to escape by being a mechanic and fixing generators. Because I don't know about you, I do not know how to fix a generator. I haven't been taught that. I don't know why so many people in Dead by Daylight know how to fix generators, but good for them. At least they know how to fix the generators, right? The first solution I have is that you turn against your own team. In a realm where it's co-op and you're working with other survivors, a lot of times, especially in films, of course, there's going to be one person who's going to think, no, I'm out here for myself. I need to survive. Surviving as a group is not as great as me surviving, generally speaking. And I guess that's valid in its own right. Cooperation can be a hindrance, generally speaking, but it also could be your greatest asset. So that's just, that's room for someone else to debate in a life-threatening situation. Objectively speaking, you could be the one person to turn against the rest of the team, to turn against the co-op. And what you would do in that case, if you have the ability, I'm not saying you can do this in Dead by Daylight, but that would be kind of cool. Dead by Daylight, please take some notes, maybe? Just kidding, your game is fine. But what you can do is turn against the rest of your team and start recruiting for the entity. So essentially help the killer get everybody else, and just let yourself be fully corrupted by the entity itself. Hopefully the entity will help you turn into a monster just like the killer is, because oftentimes killers are like a genuine disfigured or powerful, like having actual magical or supernatural powers, something along those lines, to help you be more difficult. That's my first idea. Just recruit for the entity. Hopefully the entity will understand how your mindset, and then maybe you'll just be a part of it. Like, you just take on a full-time job also being a killer. The other thing that you can do, which I kind of wish you could do in the game, to be honest, is you as a team come together and you try to defeat the killer, but in a way that you sacrifice them. I'm saying this time the full team becomes the killer. The team itself is then recruited by the entity, because 4 is better than 1. So you guys work together, bring down the killer. You go to the entity and you say, hey, let's work together here. I know you want things, we want things. How about we work together? 4 minds are way better than one, and on top of that, we still look mostly human. We still look mostly okay. So it might be easier to lure people in and kill them. And then you gain the entity's trust because 4 is better than 1 if you already killed the killer at that point. Hopefully, fingers crossed. From there on, you can just choose what you want to do. The entity is a gigantic creature. It's gonna do what it wants to do. It is hoping to eat everybody on the planet. I'm not entirely sure that the planet could fight that, because let's say you get on the entity's good side. They let you, or it lets you go into the world and start recruiting for it, and then you just decide, oh, I'm just gonna escape. I don't want to deal with that. You have no guarantee that the entity won't just bring you back into the realm and kill you, or if you're just gonna be waiting until the entity ends up killing you in the first place. Because my understanding is that the entity is not going away anytime soon. I don't know if you've ever dealt with a cosmic entity before. I personally haven't, but what I hear is that it's very difficult to do that. Like, I don't think nuclear bombs is going to solve the problem type of difficult. But those are my thoughts. That's what I was thinking, what I would do in Dead by Daylight. Of course, there's trying to survive, but I'm not a mechanic. So you can either try to only survive by saving yourself and sacrificing the rest of your team, or trying to sacrifice the killer. Who knows? I hope to never be there with you guys. I hope you guys figure that out. I'm gonna stay here and see you in the next video. That's what I'll do. Comment, like, and subscribe. Give me your thoughts, please. I'm the cosmic entity for thoughts. That's so lame. Why did I say that? Alright.